Hey guys, so it's time for some Mopar news. Sorry that I'm a little bit late with this one, work has kept me very busy recently. But as you've probably seen, the 2019 Dodge Challenger Decals have been released, so we now know what the whole lineup looks like, including all the new features, horsepower, and the Hellcat Redeye. And make sure to stay tuned on the channel for more videos covering this Hellcat and also the 2019 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. So there are 4 2019 SRT models for the Challenger, and I'll be discussing all of them. So we've got the Redeye Widebody, Hellcat Widebody, and then the Redeye and Hellcat with their regular bodies. So let's get right into it with the Challenger Hellcat Redeye, which is the top model in 2019, and it's also the gray Challenger that you're going to see on screen. So this is also actually the Hellcat Redeye Widebody. As you can see, it has the larger fender flares. If we look back to the 2015 to 2018 Challenger Hellcats, they had 707 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, which was already quite a lot, but now Dodge is stepping it up big time for performance. If you go for that top model Hellcat Redeye, you're getting an insane 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque. So this is an increase of 90 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque in the 1 year, which is really substantial. And this means that the 2019 Challenger Hellcat Redeye has a 0 to 60 acceleration of 3.4 seconds, quarter mile time of 10.8 seconds, and a top speed of 203 miles per hour. You can tell that a Redeye model is different from the other Hellcats from 4 separate things. First, the Hellcat badge on the side, where the eye of the cat will be red. This new SRT emblem will also be on the Redeye engine under the hood, and you get a red 220 mile per hour speedometer with that Redeye logo on the splash screen, and also the Redeye logo is on your key fob as well. So it's kind of nice that they've placed this new logo a few times around the car to make it known that you have a Redeye. And how does this Hellcat Redeye make so much more power than before? Well, it has 25 major upgrades to the engine and performance. And let's compare those upgrades to the standard Hellcat engines, as I'll show on the screen. So the Redeye has a 2.7 liter supercharger, making up to 14.5 psi of boost, compared to 2.4 liters and 11.6 psi of boost on the regular Hellcat. There are dual fuel pumps as opposed to just one before. This means that you get 22 miles per gallon on the highway, but it also means that when you're at full throttle, you can use up the entire gas tank in just 11 minutes, which is a ridiculous 1.43 gallons per minute. Also, the Hellcat Redeye can now rev to 6,500 RPMs, whereas the standard Hellcat did just 6,200 RPMs. And in addition to all of this, the Redeye gets stronger connecting rods and pistons to handle all the new boost, an improved valve train, lubrication, and fuel delivery system. You can also get the Redeye with 2 gear ratios, 2.62 or 3.09, which will help you launch better. And finally, the Hellcat Redeye has 3 places where it can intake air for the engine, in the hood, in the air catcher in the headlight, and there's also a spot inside the wheel liner. It might not sound like much, but this adds up to 18% more airflow, which is equal to 89 adults collectively emptying their lungs. I've probably forgotten a feature or two, but as you can see, Dodge went all out to improve on an already ridiculous muscle car. As for the regular Hellcat models, don't worry, they're still around, and they're also more powerful. Power numbers have gone up 10 horsepower to 717, and also they're up 6 pound-feet of torque to 656. And all the Hellcat models will have that new dual snorkel hood, which you can see in all the photos, and this is a throwback to some of the classic muscle cars of the past, such as the 1970 Dart Swinger and the 1971 Demon. If you're wondering about the old Hellcat hood, that's going to be moved to the Scat Pack, and I do want to have a separate video on this to really go in depth on that topic as well. So as I've said, there's 4 models for the Challenger Hellcat, and now I'll rank and display their performance stats on screen. So as you can see, the Redeye is the fastest, of course, and the wide-body Hellcats will be faster than the non-wide-body versions. I'm also a little surprised to see that the extra 90 horsepower only gets you performance gains of about 1/10 of a second for 0 to 60 times, and 3/10 of a second faster in the quarter mile, when compared to the regular Hellcats. But you are able to go 203 miles per hour, as opposed to just 195. For real racing enthusiasts, you are able to delete the rear seats and seat belts to turn your Challenger Hellcat into a 2-seater, but the front passenger seat will remain unless you decide to take it out yourself. And those wide-body versions I mentioned will have 3.5-inch fender flares and 305mm wide Pirelli P0 tires on 20 by 11-inch Devil's Rim forged wheels. Regular Hellcat models go down to 275mm wide tires. On top of all of this, There are so many extra standard performance features on all the Hellcat models, such as adaptive damping suspension with auto, sport, and track modes, the Brembo brake system, electronic power steering, launch assist, line lock, SRT drive modes, and SRT performance pages. The only downside I see so far is that there's no manual option available on the Redeye, just the 8-speed automatic transmission that we've seen for a few years now. But on the regular Hellcat you can still get that 6-speed manual if you so desire, just not on the top-end Redeye. The 2019 Hellcats will start being built in September 2018 in Brampton, Ontario, which is the assembly plant in Canada. And if you do want to pick one of these up, dealers should have them in stock around November or December. And pricing will probably be somewhere between $71,495, which is what the current Hellcat Widebody costs, and $84,995, which was the MSRP of the Demon. So basically, probably close to 800 horsepower for probably close to 80 grand. So now we finally have seen what Dodge has been up to with these new Hellcats. What do you guys think? Do you like them, or do you prefer the older look? Honestly, at first I wasn't a big fan, but as always over time, you get more used to the look, and now I don't really mind it. I think that dual snorkel hood looks pretty good, and plus I do like that they're keeping the old SRT hood around. The Redeye model is definitely cool, and you definitely can't complain with the huge bump up to 797 horsepower, plus that Hellcat Redeye logo looks awesome too. Alright, so that's it for this video. Stay tuned for all your Mopar news and lots more 2019 Charger and Challenger videos, and I'll see you next time.